Hey guys, happy Wednesday. My name is Amy Howard, and I am the founder and mother maker of Amy Howard at Home and a maker studio. Today I'm pretty jazzed because I'm going to be showing you something that has been in my wheelhouse for many, many years. We don't talk about how long I've been doing this, but I've been doing this a long time. So, if you've known anything about our line of furniture that we sold for almost 30 years, we had 23 showrooms across the country, and we sold really beautiful hand-painted furniture. So a lot of it had artwork on it, a lot of it was hand done, and a lot of it had a very English look to it, a little bit of Italian, French, and English. Guess what? Finish that I'm going to show you today is a beautiful look of chinoiserie that is beautiful on a piece of furniture. Now, what I want to be able to show you, and I think a lot of you are looking at this going, I'm not interested in that because I can't draw. You don't have to draw. I'm going to show you this to where you're going to go, wait a minute. That was the easiest, most beautiful thing I've ever seen, and yes, you can do it. I promise everything that I'm going to show you today is something that anybody can do. What I'm wanting to show you is the fact that this is the week that we're using black as our color crush. So remember on Monday how I painted this board just in regular black, and I showed you how using the cerusing wax or the light and dark wax in Dust of Ages can make a huge difference. I want to take it one step further. I want to show you how you can make beautiful chinoiserie art that would be beautiful on a headboard, a chest of drawers, a table, a demi-lune, anything. And guys, this is so authentic looking. I wish you could look at, I wished we had feel-o-vision where you could like go, oh my gosh, that feels so divine. It has a great patina, it feels wonderful, and it looks incredibly authentic. So here's always the good thing. If you've not caught me live before, when I do these Facebook Lives on Wednesday, it's always about get this look. Hey, Victoria. And I will always be giving away something to people that share this video. So we always say sharing is caring. And it's an opportunity for me as the founder and the owner of Amy Howard at Home to take the time out of my schedule and to be able to get here in front of you on Facebook and do a live and teach you something. That has value, and I want to be able to do that on a consistent basis to where your level of connoisseurship in creating finishes or painting furniture is continuing to go up. And by me teaching you skills like this, it's something that you can truly, as we say, enjoy the bragging rights from. So I promise this is easy. Stick with me for a few minutes. And if you know someone who enjoys painting and rescuing and restoring furniture, you want to share this video with them and they will thank you for it. So I'm going to show you several techniques today. We're going to go over glazing. We're going to go over using a mesh stencil with a chalk art, as well as sealing it with a matte sealer and coming back with the wax and the dust. All of that adds to the depth of the finish that you're going to get. The only way to get true depth in a finish is by what? It's having multiple layers. That's what happens over a period of time when we have true patina. And so we're going to be able to do that very quickly today. All the products that we're going to be using, except for the waxes, are water-based. Our waxes are normally petroleum-based because that solvent in that wax is what allows that beeswax to be able to go all over this surface. And even though I'm going to show you how I did finish this off with a matte sealer in order to seal it, I came back and I used the wax and the Dust of Ages to give me this beautiful patina. So it's gorgeous, I promise. I wished you could see it in person, and I'm going to show you the steps. So remember on Monday, what was the first thing we did? We just painted a regular board in black. That's what we're going to start with. So you're going to use the one-step paint, just roll it on or brush it on your piece of furniture in black. Now, as always, if you are painting an existing piece of furniture, please use the clean slate first. This is a Furniture Refinishers cleaning grade cleaner that will get off solvents, surfactants, things on that piece that would hinder your paint as far as really truly bonding. So go over it really quickly with a clean slate first. Of course, if you're starting on raw furniture, that's not necessary. You can just come in and paint with the one-step paint. All right, so I'm going to turn my camera down, so I won't be able to see your questions for just a moment, but please feel free to ask them. I will be going on Facebook and answering them for you later. And as always, sharing is caring. Share this video, and your name will go in for a drawing that we will be doing day after tomorrow, and we will be giving the lucky winner of the drawing the stencil that I'm getting ready to show you. So I am introducing you to another product that maybe you're not familiar with, but I have a sister company that I love all about crafting, and I'm going to be using two products from that sister company. I'm going to be using this gold chalk art, if I can turn that around like that, and this Chinoiserie stencil. I do want to give you a little bit of art history background for just a second. Chinoiserie is not actually from the Oriental. It's not from the Chinese, because it was, if you think about everything that was going on with Marco Polo, he was all the rage. Here he's traveling to Asia, and he's getting all this stuff, but it's taking forever for it to get back for people. So the English cabinet makers, which were beautiful furniture makers, said, you know what? Let's, instead of trying to wait for all the Marco Polo guys in those ships to come back and bring us the panels and things to put on our furniture, we will create Chinoiserie. So it has all these little pagodas. You will see them normally carrying water. Sometimes it will have umbrellas or leopards. These are synonymous with everyday living of people that were the Asian people. And so you'll see these pagodas and dogwood trees and flowers and orange blossoms and all that type thing in these pictures that you will see of, sometimes they're called toiles. This is a toile design, but also it's Chinoiserie. So the English took these Chinoiserie designs and they did them with Pastillo gesso and usually golds and blacks, and did them on top of the furniture that they manufactured, and Chinoiserie furniture was born. So with this beautiful Asian influence, which is definitely very much on trend, I want to show you how strictly with some chalk paste from my sister company and this stencil, you're going to be able to get the same look yourself, adding a couple of things in, one to seal it, and then two, going through our glazing process. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to start with, as we went over on Monday, is you're going to paint your piece in the black one step first. That's all this is. So do 2 coats on your piece of furniture. Clean it with clean slate first, and then you're going to take the stencil, and I'm going to pull this apart. Now, the cool thing about this stencil is it is adhesive. It also has a mesh. So as I hold this up, you can see through it. So the only area that you're going to be able to basically be working that is going to expose it is where the mesh is, and where it is the dark gray, it's not going to go through. So I'm going to lay this down here where you can see it. And because it is adhesive, I'm just going to press it in, so that's going to make sure that it binds to my painted finish. So the first thing we did is we painted it with the one step, get 2 coats on it, and now we're going to come back and we're going to do our artwork. Now, when I talk about addiction, I mean this in the happy kind of creative addiction. This is something that you're going to get totally addicted to. So this is our chalk art, and this is a gorgeous metallic color. This has no VOCs, and it truly is a gorgeous metallic color. So I'm going to take a little spreader. This is from my sister company, A Maker Studio. You can just go to that website and you can see both of these products. I'm going to load this up like this. Just take a little bit out, and this is going to give me this gorgeous gold color that I'm actually going to come back and glaze. So I want to hold this at a 45-degree angle, and I'm scraping it across it like this. So I am holding, I'm doing just quite a bit of pressure. Can you hear that? It kind of sings. So that way you know. Now, here's the opposite. Here's what some people do. They'll kind of lay this here like this. Don't do that. I don't want you spreading it. I want it at a 45-degree angle like this. I don't want you to pull it across it. So it's a lot like silk screening. I'm gonna turn it this direction just to be able to get in there more. Now, the other cool thing is I can wash this stencil. I'm gonna grab a tub of water. I'm gonna show you I can wash the stencil and get this off. Now, look at the other thing. Look at that gorgeous gold shimmer. Are you loving that? Love it. Now, look how much I've got left over. I'm gonna put that right back in my container, like this, and put the top on it. So that way, this is water-based. I can use it over and over again. Here's the other exciting thing. I can wash the stencil. So I'm gonna pull this up. Look at this. Yes, it's that easy. You do not have to have any expertise in doing the art because look, there it is. Does that make you excited? That's as simple as that, guys. This could be a gorgeous piece of art. You could do blocks of wood. You could do panels that you could hang that could be artwork. This could be a piece of canvas, but this would also look great on a chest of drawers, a tabletop. We did a lot of chinoiserie furniture when we were making Amy Howard at Home furniture. All right, so that is the top of my, that has my artwork on it. Now I wanna show you something. I'm gonna set that aside, and I wanna show you really quickly as far as with the stencil that I just used. So you will just put it in some water like this, and I usually just use a natural seawool sponge, and I'll be able to just wash that right off. That way I can turn it over like this, and I'll let it air dry with the adhesive side up, and then put it back in its container, and I can use it over and over and over again. All right, so I'm gonna set that aside. So now, let me draw this off really quickly. So, I have two panels that I've done here. I wanted you to be able to see them. Actually, the pattern, these don't match up, but I wanted you to be able to see large enough as far as view how beautiful this can be. All right, so now I want you to do something. I need you to make sure that you get our matte sealer. We are going to have to seal this chalk. It is a chalk. Now, here's the cool thing. It won't smear. And it actually is like a chalk. You can wipe it off. This is one of the products that we use when we're doing chalkboards. You can wipe it off and you can start all over. So if you mess up, just take a wet rag and you can wipe it off. But, so I do want to seal this. Pardon me for my pig plate. But this is what I'm going to put some of my matte sealer on. And I'm just going to pour that in this plate. If you haven't ordered our new matte sealer, it's pretty fabulous. It is completely matte, and it's fantastic for sealing chalk art that you want to be able to use on a piece of furniture. So load up your foam roller like this. I prefer using a foam roller instead of a synthetic brush. That brushing action on this could have a tendency to remove the chalk art. So I prefer that you roll on the matte sealer. So just load it up like this. And then you want to just kind of go over it. It's always good to overlap. Be generous with it. And when you do this, I also want you to put on 2 coats. So you can apply it like this. The great thing about it is this matte sealer is water-based. It has no VOCs. So that way I've got 1 coat. I'm going to allow it to dry about 30 minutes, and then I want you to put on a 2nd coat. Okay? All right, so I'm going to set that aside. And then, let me see, I've got one that's sealed here. All right, so this has been sealed. Now, when I say this is completely matte, guys, it's completely matte. You see, it has no sheen to it whatsoever. That's a great thing because I don't want to, as I am layering all these different finishes in it, I don't want to see a sheen glaring through it. So now I've completely have my matte sealer, it's dried, and I'm gonna do a glaze. The glaze is gonna set this back. So I'm gonna mix up, this is what's gonna give you this great looking furniture finish. Now let me show you. This is on my finished piece. Can you see this? It's just yummy. We don't wanna have it, our artwork, to where it looks really garish and bright like this. Do you see the difference? So this is before the glaze. This is after the glaze. It sets it back. It's more subtle. It makes it look more sophisticated. And it's just very timeless. It's just really beautiful. And when you see it in person. All right, so we've got to set that back. We don't want it to be too bright. So we're going to mix up a glaze. And on this one, I'm going to do it just a little thinner. So I'm going to do 1 part black, 2 parts water, and 1 part glaze. So this is our glazed over. It's a glazing liquid that allows you to be able to make glazes out of just the one-step paint. All right? So 2 parts water, 1 part black one-step, and 1 part glaze. So I'm gonna mix that up like this. And then I'm going to brush it on. And this is fairly thin. I'm gonna make sure that I have a lint-free rag. Got one that's just a little bit smaller. And I'm gonna dip a foam brush into here, just let it set for just a second. Hey guys, while you are coming on here, I wanna see you for just a second. Welcome. My name is Amy Howard, and I'm showing you here today how to be able to create a beautiful chinoiserie finish on just a regular black painted piece of furniture that you can use the one-step. Cool thing is, you could also do this in a gorgeous red, which is very classic with chinoiserie. You could also, instead of painting it black, you could do it in a dark chocolate, like our Windsor color. So your options are huge here. Instead of using gold chalk art, you could actually even use copper or silver. So think outside of the box when you're able to create artwork like this. All right, let me turn this down. So we've got our glaze. Now, before you glaze this, guys, you have got to make sure that you've sealed it with the matte sealer. You cannot put the glaze on top of the chalk art unless you've sealed it. So I'm going to come over this 100% with my glaze. So you want to do a drawer at a time, the top, a side panel, whatever. Completely cover it 100% with your black glaze. Now come back with a lint-free rag and pat it off. Don't rub it. I want you to be able to just, after it's set there for a second, start to pull it. See how my black glaze is coming off? And it's setting that back. If you want to, you can pull just a little bit out if you want to bring that gold through and make it just a little bit brighter. It's all about being very, very subtle. All right, so after this dries, you want to come back and you want to be able to seal it again before you actually wax it. So I'm going to pat this off. Let me see. Do we have one that's already glazed? Which one is glazed? Okay. All right. So I'm going to hit this with a hairdryer really quick. The good thing about having these water-based glazes is that they dry very quickly. So now I'm gonna come back again and I'm gonna seal it so it's sandwiched in and I've got a beautiful protection with my matte sealer. You're gonna see why I was so excited about developing this matte sealer, because you can get such pretty looks by adding wax over this to give you the patina instead of a shimmery sealer. They're not desirable. So I was so excited about this. All right, so now I want you to just see something really quickly. I'm gonna dry this too. Because I want you to be able to see, it truly does go completely matte. Look at this. Can you start to see that, how it's drying? Look at that. That sealer is going completely matte, which is going to give me the ability to be able to make a beautiful finish with my wax. Look at that. Can you see how it's just disappearing? Sorry guys, I'm just gonna dry this a little bit more, that way I can take you all the way through. Look at that, it's totally disappearing. You cannot see, there's no brush marks, there's no roll marks. Look at that. You totally cannot see that I put a sealer on there. It's completely matte. Now, here's the beautiful part. Now I'm gonna come back with a light wax and a dark wax. Believe it or not, the dark wax does show up when you are doing chinoiserie art like this. This is my light wax. You want to make sure that you have two different brushes. So I'm going to use this hog hair and I'm going to load up. And when I'm doing this, I'll normally use a puck, wax, offload it, and then go all over your entire piece like this. Don't put it on too heavy. You can kind of, do it in cross hatches like this. Go back and forth, go over it again, but don't load it up too thick. All right, now, I'm getting a whole lot of stuff on my desk, aren't I? All right, so now I'm gonna come back with a little bit of my dark wax. Guys, as you pop on here and you see me, be sure and tell me hello, ask me questions. If you're just now catching me kind of in the process of this, you wanna go back and watch it from the beginning, because I'm showing you how to create beautiful artwork, specifically chinoiserie artwork on your pieces today, and you don't have to have any art skill, drawing skills, anything. So I'm just gonna come back and just kind of darken this just a little bit with my dark wax. That'll set that gold back just a little bit more if I want it from my glaze. Now, I do want to make sure that I air dry this just a little bit. I push this up because we're doing live videos, and I want you to be able to see what it looks like, but I don't want to compromise what I'm getting ready to show you what to do. Now, I want to show you my finished piece. And I want to show you this with the light and dark wax. Can you see the difference? Adding the dust, guys, is going to take it from this to this. If you ever wonder, well, is there really any value of the dust? The answer is yes. There's a lot of value in it, because it really can change the finish and what you're doing. Let me see if I can get something. I get a little bit more air. I'm gonna fan this just a little bit because I need this to come to tack. I do not want to put the Dust of Ages on here before it has a chance to have set up, because one, it's going to go too black. All right, so now I'm going to take my Dust of Ages You want to make sure that you use a totally different brush. You can dip it in here like this, tap it on the side to offload it. And I'm pretty generous with it. I can tell it's not really as dry as I want it to be. Now I'm going to come back with a lint-free rag and I'm going to start to buff it. I've got a light hand right now because I'm wanting to make sure that this dust of ages is down in the crevices, and the actual wax, I want it to be down in there. It really does make a huge difference in the patina that you're going to get. Look at this. So now, as I can tell the wax is starting to dry, I'll buff it a little bit and I'll start to get some sheen. That's our office dog, Theo. Hey, Theo. Now, I want to be able to show you. This is the one I had done earlier, and I had an opportunity to kind of buff it because I want you to be able to see the sheen. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? So this was before we glazed it. This is after we glazed it, sealed it, and waxed it. Isn't that beautiful? So when we talk about being able to create beautiful furniture finishes with art that are easy, that you don't have to have any skills to paint, you can use our stencils from a maker studio and our chalk art and have a beautiful design like this that is definitely something that you're going to be able to enjoy the bragging rights from. Thanks so much for watching me today. Please do #replay. Share this video and tag 3 friends. Your name's going to go in for a drawing, and I'm going to send you this Toile Chinoiserie stencil with the gold chalk art because I want you to be able to experience it and be able to enjoy the bragging rights. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.